it's Mommy Tang. What's up, Tang Gang? I'm actually really nervous about this video. I feel like, you know those moments where you like you drive somewhere, you're lost, and you drive and you start seeing things and you know you're like in the ghettos and you're like, oh my gosh, should I just like go backwards or should I just keep on going and go with it and get yourself killed kind of thing. And then sometimes, okay, in life, you have to just go through it. Okay, go through it. Sometimes you'll make it to the end. Sometimes you'll just meet a whole bunch of gangsters and die. I don't know what's gonna happen to me today. That's how I feel right now, but I know I said yesterday, today will be my story time day, but like I said, sometimes things come up and this is one of them. I'm sorry. Story time will be tomorrow. Sorry. I am really sorry. You know, videos back before, I did say I was gonna make a video about FREELEE, the banana girl, okay? And not a lot of you actually commented, but some of you said, yeah, make a video on FREELEE. I don't know why, it's just, usually I get a lot of comment, but it was just missing. But this morning I wake up and I see a video made by FREELEE. She seemed very upset, so I clicked and there's a couple of videos.
This is bye. It's good for you, but still somehow tastes amazing.
The commercial where she makes the mucha.
Having a cheeky British accent.
Can't even skip it. I gotta wait.
Hello, you saucy.
Sometimes you can skip it.
Yeah, sometimes you can't.
Go through the chosen. Hey Fruit Bats, welcome to another episode. So since making that video on Tanner yesterday, shit has gone crazy on the internet. It is pretty it is amusing, but it's also kind of scary for this.
So she made this video. I was like, what is this video about? I went and looked at her video. Then whoever that she was talking about, her name is Tana Mongeau. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry, Tana. It's not you. It's not your name. It's just me. Really, it's not. And I know some of you are watching this video. Who the hell are you? Let me just explain a little bit about me. I am Mommy Tang, and I post mukbang. You know, this was Korean thing, and I post mukbang on vegan food. So that's what I do. I just eat a lot and just tell stories sometimes and just talk about stupid things, and that's what I do here. Okay, so I've never heard of Tana before. I've never, and I'll tell you why. Because I have 4 kids, okay? I'm very busy. I gotta drive them, I gotta cook for them, I gotta clean after them. You know, when they get sick, I gotta do all this stuff. On top of that, I gotta take care of my husband. Then I gotta take care of this house. Then I gotta make mukbang. Then I gotta clean up, I gotta eat, I gotta edit this video. On top of that, I start doing Snapchat. And people want me to sing, so I gotta start practicing. I have a lot of things to do. I mean, and my kids have activities after activities and I have to run around. So I don't have time to sit there and watch so many just amazing people on YouTube. I only watch, like, if my son would say, Mom, watch this. This is cool. And I'm like, oh, okay. My daughter would be like, watch this. I'll be like, okay.
And then get ready for
and I do watch a lot of the vegan channels because I'm vegan and I like watching vegan channels so I can have some more knowledge in my brain to, you know, entertain you guys or whatever I do here on mukbang. So, do I only watch vegan channels? No, I have if you go under my channel listing, I watch a lot of non-YouTuber because my life is not about all vegan because I did another video on that, but my family comes first, my kids come first, my husband comes first, everything else comes first, and then veganism comes somewhere in between. Of course, veganism is a big deal for me, but it's not everything in my life. So this is why, and I decided that I'm going to create a channel to teach you guys that being vegan is not that hard and you could eat fun food, like a lot of Asian food, veganize it, eat it, and this is me, okay? So enough about me. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about today just basic big things. FREELEE, that I'm going to also talk about Tana. Okay, let me go back, because if I say the wrong name, her gang's gonna come after me, be like, you don't even say her name right. I'll be like, sorry.
Making a video on Tanner yesterday. Shit.
Tana. Okay, Tana. Sorry, it's not that I can't say your name, but I can't pronounce things well either. Tana. Okay. So I don't know anything about Tina. So this morning when I saw this thing, I went to her video, saw her video, and I went to Freely, saw her video. Then all these videos started popping up, and people had things to say about them. So I started watching a little bit, and I actually went to Tina's page and I looked at some of her YouTubes, and I decided, you know what, it's time for me to open my mouth and make a video about Freely. Okay, my ultimate plan to make a video about Freely was after I reach 100K. I don't know, maybe an year, 2 years, 3 years. Just eating my blackberries. I was supposed to eat, she finished it all. Okay, you might as well just take this and go, because mommy's gonna talk to them.
There you have it.
So my plan was to talk about Freely after I get 100K. Why 100K? Because I feel like I owe so much to her that I wanted to wait till like the big bomb, like boom, and like just get it out there. I wanted to have more subscribers, more people watching me when I talk about Freely. But I just feel like this was the time. Today I woke up and said, you know what? I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna talk about her today. So, just to get Freely's attention. Freely knows who I am. Okay, I'll tell you the whole story, but Freely does know who I am. So, in order for her to watch this video, 10 gangs, you have to go there and just bomb her with 10 gang. So she's like, what is this 10 gang? You know what I mean? And she'll come and watch this video because I have a lot of things that I want to say to Freely on camera. I need to get her attention, For those of you that loves Tana, hate Freely, I also want you to watch this video till the end. I want you to stay till the end because I am not about bashing people. I am right in the middle, and I'm just gonna give my opinions out and just say it the way I see it. Only because I have 4 kids. You know what that means? They're like always fighting to get my attention. And I have to be in the middle always, deciding who's right, who's wrong. Usually I'm okay, but sometimes they get me. I'm like, I have no clue who's right, who's wrong. You know what I mean? So even with this case, I really don't know who's right, who's wrong. I don't know if Freely's right. I don't know if Tana's right. I don't know. Only they know. But I am here just watching them as a vegan, as a YouTuber. I just want to get it out. Oh, I did her hair. No, Ember did her hair and she looks like an angel today. Alright, so I'm gonna start eating banana before I go all cuckoo, because sometimes they complain to me. They're like, this is a mukbang. Why are you not eating? Why are you talking too much?
I love bananas.
I'm like, I don't know, because I like to talk. All humans like to talk. And some of you are like, you don't have kimchi today. Where's your kimchi? I don't have a kimchi today because I'm eating a friggin' banana. Okay, but I do have my mother-in-law's
bottle,
recycled cup, and I'll be drinking that with
milk, almond milk.
Almond milk. Okay, I don't know. Freely Banana might not approve of me drinking almond milk. I'm not sure, because I know she's a hardcore Rato 4, and I'm gonna talk about that too. You know how I feel about Rato 4. I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff. It's gonna be a long video, but some of you clicked onto this. You clicked onto this, knowing the fact that I'm gonna be talking about Freely and Tana and Blogilates. Okay, so if you want to hear my opinion, then listen. If you don't, then just click the video. I have a recipe video coming out for you next week, and if you're here for the recipe, then do that. Do you see how hyper I am? As soon as Freely came out, I'm talking a lot, blah, 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 she gets me going.
Who?
Freely, the banana girl.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
I totally understand where Tana comes from, because let me just talk about Tana a little bit. I don't know who she is, but let me just talk about her a little bit. I feel like she was very hurt by what Freely said, only because she's 17. Me, when I was 17, I was a mess. Okay, I was not even a close level of where Tana is now. She's when I watched Tana and I heard that she's 17, I was like, oh my gosh, is she for real? Oh my gosh, I was like, good for her. I'm doing this when I'm 40 and I'm just having struggles sometimes. And she's doing this at 17. Can you imagine what kind of power she's gonna have when she's in her 30s or 40s? Gosh, on top of that, she turned vegan at 17. So if she keeps this up for a really long time, by the time she's like 25 or 30, she's gonna have a lot of people converting to veganism because she's vegan. So I give her so much credit for that one, okay? I give her also another credit for speaking up her mind to Freelee. Oh my gosh, I'd be so scared to talk about Freelee online bad way because her and her boyfriend, DURIANRIDER, right? I don't know, he never comments anything on what I say, so I don't even know if he likes me or not. I know Freelee used to like me. I don't know if she's gonna like me after this video, but yeah. So the fact that 17-year-old girl, she went up to Freelee and talked about Freelee like that, I was like, that girl's brave. I love girls who are brave. So I give her another, my God, for that. And I actually went to her channel and oh my gosh, I totally realized you could see Peyton's bum crack, her crack. Peyton! I can see your bum. Come over here. Put your pants up. And you know, not many girls, I would be so scared to talk back to Freelee and Harley. Oh my gosh, they are like, they could say their mind, and not many people could do that on YouTube, but they just say whatever they want to say. So it's like, whatever. Okay, Freelee says to eat her bananas when they're like really like spotty. I like my smoothie like that, but when I eat just raw bananas, I like them pretty yellow with just a little bit of freckles. That's the way I eat it. I don't know, Freelee, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. If I offend you eating bananas like this, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to, but some people like their bananas this way. So I give this girl a lot of credit, you know, and she's very beautiful. When I was watching her YouTube, oh my gosh, the way she tells her story, she just got me sucked right in. I understand why people like to watch her, but she's just getting, you know what I mean? She's like, I was like, whoa, you know? I love her voice. Tana's voice was something about her voice was very, I don't know. It's not like, like that. It was kind of like husky. Kayla, my first daughter, her voice is like that a little bit. Like something about her voice is just like, it just sucks people right in. Do you agree? Do you guys agree? So before I go on with Freelee, I thank Freelee for making a video about Tana because now I will watch Tana. You know, she's into my life now. She's in my life now. I'll be watching her a little bit when I have time and stuff. You know what I mean? So I thank Freelee. And if Freelee didn't make that video, the red video or whatever, then I would have never in a million years found out about Tana. So I thank Freelee, and that's just the way I like to leave Tana at, because I wish I could talk to her more about, but I just found her this morning. I can't say anything about her. I don't know her. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll make a video like in a couple of years and say how much I love her and how much I do. I don't even think she'll watch this video because she doesn't know me either. But I have a feeling that Freelee might watch this because Freelee knows me. And I'll tell you how she knows me, okay? 3 years ago, well, a little bit over 3 years ago, I became a vegan because of Freelee. This is before she started making all this like videos about celebrities and, you know, kind of like the rant videos, people like to call it. She was kind of into like just making videos, like nice video, like recipe videos, like how Tana said it, like, you know, nice videos. That's where I found her. She was doing Raw Till 4, and then that got me hooked into watching her boyfriend, which is Harley DURIANRIDER. As I was watching him, I don't like guys who curse, okay? Sometimes I curse here too, but if my man were to curse like that, I don't think I would have married my husband. My husband don't curse like that. So when I heard him curse, like I was like, oh, first I didn't want to listen, but he just had some kind of power to suck me in as well. So I started listening. And the whole message that I got through with them was fruit was good and veganism is the best. And that you should make a YouTube channel and tell everybody about it. That was like the basic, the core of their message, you know? So I actually emailed him. I don't know if he remembers. I emailed him first because he started following me on Instagram first. And I was like, oh my gosh, one day I woke up, I had like maybe 300 followers or something like that. And then he liked my video and then he followed my video. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I went crazy. I went like crazy. I wrote him a really long letter, which was a mistake because sometimes people write me really long messages now that have a lot of, I don't have too much following here. I only have 50,000. So, to some that's a lot, to some that's like nothing, you know? So it depends how you look at it. But when I do get a long letter, sometimes it's hard for me to read because there's so many letters and, you know, snaps and all these things that you gotta go through. So I wrote to him and say, oh my God, DURIANRIDER, you inspire me. And back then, honestly, FREELEE was bigger than DURIANRIDER, so I thought that I could never get FREELEE's attention. I just thought that I could kind of talk to DURIANRIDER. So I said, thank you so much. And I said, one day I'm going to make this whole Asian vegan thing happening, and you inspire me. I've been vegan for a couple months now, and da-da-da-da. I wrote him a letter. He never got back to me. So I got really inspired. So I said, what am I gonna do? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna create an Instagram page. So I started posting fruit-based pictures. Now, if you go into my Instagram, there's a link to it. You'll see all these pictures. If you go scroll through all the way to the down, you'll see all my fruit pictures. Nothing but fruits. One day, I wake up again, and then FREELEE, she shouted me out on her Instagram. I did this banana collage. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to link it here, but I did this banana collage. You know what? I'm just gonna show you because you know some people get all fancy and put everything in the thing. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm still like very like, you know, computer, like I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just like a mom. So let me just show you what I mean. If you scroll down all the way to the bottom of my Instagram, see? Before the videos start showing up, because I started making videos, you know, but before even all that, okay, I started posting a lot of the fruit videos. Let me just show you one video that everybody liked and everybody was like, woo, you know, and then I think I got a lot of followings from this video. Of course, when you try to find something, it's never there. God, it's like they play hide and seek with you or something like that. It's weird. Yeah. So those are the videos, those are the pictures I used to make. You know, this beautiful picture with fruits. And one day she gave me a huge shout out on her page and all its followers started coming in. And I was like, oh my God, FREELEE. I was like, thank you. And then she wrote back to me. She said, oh, you're welcome. I love you. Da, da, da. I said, FREELEE, you don't understand. You changed my life. Because I wasn't vegan then. And then there's another story why I became...
I want something else.
What?
I want this.
So there's a whole nother story. It's just the kids can, I don't know, today's one of those days, the kids just, you know, they the mommy. So I became vegan because of her, and I owe my life because look at what I'm doing, you guys. Look how many people that I'm helping out because of FREELEE. If FREELEE never turned me vegan, then this channel wouldn't be here. No, I might be like not mommy tang, but maybe like, I don't even think I'll be doing anything on YouTube. You know, and there's so much recipe that I want to share with you guys. So basically, she inspired, her and her boyfriend inspired me to be here. Now, some of you that don't like Tana might be like, whatever, girl, you don't know what you're talking about, right? Whatever, you know? But, you know, life, right? This is the way I see life. Sometimes you learn from your mistakes. Sometimes, you know, if there's ups, there's downs, and there's ups, there's downs and ups, you know? Sometimes, even though you hate somebody, they could be your greatest teacher. Sometimes you think they are like the greatest teacher, the best friend. Sometimes they stab you too. You know, I've seen that. I felt that many times in my lifetime, you know? So you never know. You never know. So I actually wrote to FREELEE and said, FREELEE, you changed my life. Thank you so much. I want to just send you something. I want to send you something and just tell you that I am so thankful. And then she gave me her address. So I sent her a little gift and then she got back to me. So we kind of became friends that way. And now this is when I was doing very high fruit and I was living the raw tofu diet. Like I didn't eat any oil, no salt. I can't remember. I just eating a lot of fruit. No, everything was all mono meal, meaning like eating one fruit at a time. And I was kind of living my life like how she wants everybody to kind of live, you know. So that's how I was living for about a year and a half. And then I fell off a wagon because I went through a very, very hard time in my lifetime. Just to get the story, you know, whatever, I got pregnant with the 5th baby and I miscarried. And it was so devastating. It was just crazy that I just went almost crazy, nuts, you know? And I still stayed vegan, but I dropped raw tofu. And I started eating all this like Oreo cookies and butter and oil and, you know, whatever that was vegan, whatever that was junk. I started binging and I was like, I didn't care. I started drinking a little bit of wine here and there. So I was pretty much a dirty vegan, you could say. Till one day, I can't remember what hit me, but I was kind of in a mess for 6 months almost, like 7 months, and it was just going crazy. And one day I said, you know, if I go on this way, I'm just gonna kill my kids. And I'm just gonna go crazy, like not literally kill my kids, but my kids were really sad to see mommy sad, you know? So I said, you know, I need to pick myself up and do something about it. And then that's when I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on something I like. What do I like? And I was thinking and thinking, and I said, you know what, I can't do any more fruits because it's not my thing. You know, fruit was, yes, fruit is good for you, but it's not my thing. You know, I love eating Asian food. I wanted to share my Asian recipes. That was my main goal from the very beginning. And I just felt like I went off track a little bit. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start posting my Asian recipe, vegan Asian recipe. So I had to kinda say goodbye to raw tofu. Not because I didn't believe in it, but because my lifestyle is going that way. I still think raw tofu is a very healthy diet, only because if you know what you're doing, only because people abuse raw tofu. You can't be abusing that. You know, if you use it to make it work for you, that's a very good diet. Eating lots of fruit, lots of, you know, carbs, it's very good for you, I think. So you should definitely, if you have no idea what I'm talking about with FREELEE, raw tofu, all this stuff, then please go check her out because I will link her channel to my description. So Tana and FREELEE, they were going back and forth. Who's lying? You're lying. You're lying. There was, you know, whatever, you know. That happens when my kids fight too. You're lying. That's not true. That's not what I did. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. And I'm just like, who did what? You know. And I just kind of like sit there and listen. Well, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think any of them lied. I just think they're misunderstood. And they're like, you know, because YouTube, when you make videos about somebody, it's not. You know what I mean? If you get into a fight with your husband sometime about something, you don't start just texting. You call them and say, like, honey. And if that doesn't work, then what happens? When he comes home, you're like, can I talk to you? You know what I mean? Face to face. And still that don't understand. Because sometimes, even when you talk to them for like an hour or for days, you're still like, I don't understand why he does that to me. I explained everything to him. I told him everything and he's still crazy. He's making me sad. You know what I mean? So, just doing video to video to video, I don't think it's gonna help them. I don't know if this is like all, because some people said to me, oh, mommy, Tay, you're so gullible. Sometimes these are all shows. You know, they don't really mean it. They love each other, but they make videos like that just to get more like views. You know, I'm like, really? You know, I don't know if that's the case. And I just got fooled right in. But when I listen to FREELEE's video, I understand why she makes those kind of videos. Think about it. FREELEE's been doing this for a really long time. This fruit thing, this raw tofu thing, this vegan thing. So there's like hundreds of videos that she made about veganism. In the beginning, like 3-4 years ago, she made all this video. But ever since that, there's so many YouTubers making the same video as her. Raw tofu, I'm high carb, low fat vegan, look at me eat, do me. They're all same, and there's so many YouTubers now that she probably decided one day, you know what, I need to step up my game and do something else. And because she has a huge following, she probably wanted to reach those people that had higher viewers and higher following. That way they could turn vegan, so they could spread more veganism throughout the whole world. That's why she makes this video, not because she's hating on individuals that she makes video about. I do understand that. Now, in my opinion, the mistake maybe she's making is that people that is in the other side, if somebody makes a video about me especially, I will want them to just praise me, like, oh, Mommy Tang, I love you, you're so great, and this is, you know, one little video, one little thing they say bad, I could be like, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean? Now, these girls that she makes video about, they're not in their 40s or 50s where they could take things and say, yeah, this is great, I read beyond your point. Some girls are younger, like for example, this girl named Tana, she's 17. At 17, you're very, very sensitive to a lot of things. So if another YouTuber kind of makes a video about you that you feel a little bit, you know, like a little bit, kind of like you don't like it, then she could be very offended, you know? And maybe FREELEE doesn't care, maybe she doesn't, you know, she never knew about that, whatever, but this is why there is so much thing going on. Now, before Tana, there was Blogilates. There's the whole thing. The reason I didn't say nothing about that is because for Asian person to be big in media, that's a big thing. Blogilates, she's Asian, you know what I mean? Like Asian people are supposed to be silent or something like that. You see like black president, you see like white president, you're not gonna see an Asian president, I don't think, because we're like the silent people. We're like the silent, you know, like at the back, kind of like we're there but we're not there kind of people. I don't know, am I being racist? I'm Asian, I'm allowed to say that. So, when I see an Asian person making it big in the media or in the world, girl, I give her, whatever that she's doing, I give her like, wow. You know, so when I see Blogilates, that's how I see Blogilates, like, wow, girl.
I got you.
More power to you, you know? And I really didn't follow FREELEE and Blogilates. I don't know what's going on, but I just don't want to, there's just so much drama, you know what I mean? Sorry, lost the train of thoughts again because my daughter came and she was talking to me about something and I'm like, I lost it. Alzheimer's kicking in already. So basically, what I'm trying to say here, okay, is I don't even know what I want to say here, basically. I don't even know why I made this video. Actually, I do remember now. You know, in a couple of days, I'm actually going to meet HANNA, HIGHCARB HANNA. Yeah, I'm going to meet her in New York. We're going to have maybe lunch or dinner together. And I know HANNA had this big ruckus thing years back with FREELEE. So if FREELEE one day decides to see my video and she sees me making videos with HANNA having fun, then she might be like, is Mommy Tang betraying me? You know, she might get that. I don't want her to think that. FREELEE, if you're watching this video, I love you. Forever. You'll be here. I'll never let you go. It's one of those like Titanic moments. I'll never let you go. You know, it's one of those, FREELEE. I thank you. You mean so much to me. This Thailand festival that you're doing right now, I really wanted to go. So I told my husband, I haven't traveled anywhere in 15 years by myself, alone, without my husband, without my kids, never. And I told my husband, I said, I really want to go to Thailand and meet FREELEE and Harley. So my husband was this close of saying, okay, you know what, maybe it's time for you to go and do your thing, you know, it's been 15 years and maybe it's time, you know? And I was so excited. Then I found that it was a bike festival. I can't ride a bike. Yeah, my husband even got me a real nice bike and he said, you need to practice. I thought I was gonna seriously poo on my pants. I was so scared. I never had those phobia, like my legs were shaking and I was like, oh my God. It's just to think that I'm in the road with cars. You have to really literally kill me and then put me on the bike. I can't. So I've been practicing, but I don't even know if I could cycle. Oh my gosh. So I gave up on hope of meeting her in Thailand. So I don't know, I wish I could meet you somewhere else. I wish you could, when you do see me, I wish you could give me a warm welcome, Mommy Tang, I love you hugs, instead of like, get the hell out of my face kind of thing, you know, because I love you, FREELEE. And I just want to say, you know, for people that are making these bad comments on YouTube, you know, they are people behind this little screen that you see, we're actual people, you know, and we get hurt. Especially me, when it's not even a bad comment, but people say little comments, and I know my viewers always say to me, oh, don't let them bother you and stuff like that, but I guarantee 100%, I could guarantee, if I get sucked into a drama like that and it gets really big, I probably shut my channel down. I would, because I would never do anything to hurt my kids, and I know my kids are directly linked to whatever I do, you know. My kids already get a lot of attention at school because they're like, oh yeah, your mom, she eats on TV, YouTube, you know. Oh yeah, your mom's so big on Instagram. And when I go visit her, my kids at school, they're like, oh yeah, that's Jonathan's mom, that's the lady that who eats a lot, you know what I mean. I already have a little bit of like, you know, the look, you know. The other day we went to Bertucci's to eat, and I got this, you know who you're talking about, you know who you are. And I was eating, and this three, I guess, waiters or waitress, they were turning around, they were kind of like whispering, looking at me like, oh, and they all looked at me like kind of funny. So I was like, and I was doing a vlog, so I'm thinking, okay, they think I'm very strange doing vlogs. But one of them came up to me and said like, oh my gosh, mommy think I watch you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I see you here. You know, like, they were shocked, I was shocked, and we were all shocked. We were like, oh my god, people know me on the streets now. And I don't even have that huge of a viewer or subscribers. Can you imagine these YouTubers that have like million views and millions? I mean, it's crazy what they go through, and I could only imagine how much hate they probably get with it, you know? So I'm not here to, like I said, bash Tana down, who's right, who's wrong. Only they know. Only they know. I don't know. But I do want to just say my 2 cents out here for them. And, you know, like I said, back to Tana, girl, you're doing great. You know, YouTube, wow, 17, wow. You have so much power, girl. Like, I couldn't only imagine what kind of power you're gonna have when you get older, you know? But time where you're gonna go up and down, you know, and people will say stuff about you and, you know, maybe stalk you, because I heard your story about people stalking you and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, that's scary. But, so I hope this video doesn't get too much hate, because I'm gonna just shut it down. If it gets too much thumbs down, or like, I hate you, mommy thing, or like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, it's like that. I was just gonna be like, delete, because I am not doing this for the views. Okay. Some people make videos about, you know, so they could get views. I just wanted to tell freely. There are people behind the screen that love you, but not necessarily like the message you sometimes give out. You know, because sometimes, you know, some people like to hear nice things, you know, like lovey-dovey teddy bear things, you know, and if they're not into that, they're gonna just find you a little bit strange, you know what I mean? Like, why is she doing that? You know what I mean? But that's your life. You do you, you know what I mean? I will still love you freely, and I will always eat my bananas. I'll always eat my days, and when I feel sick and when I feel, you know, like, you know, I will always have Rata 4 in me somewhere here. So, freely, I love you. Get back to me, girl. I know, sometimes you're busy and you're hanging out with the big YouTubers now and like being really famous, but you gotta think about the little ones here too, okay? So, I'll see you. And I'm really sorry for people that's watching me today. Like, Mommy saying you didn't even eat. You're talking about something that I don't even care about, something you don't even know. Mommy Tang, Mommy Tang, Mommy Tang. Okay, so I'm just gonna sit here and fast forward and show you how I eat. I just had one banana, okay? I do this when I think the whole week I ate dirty. Sometimes I go through a week, you know what I eat, you know what I mean? Sometimes I eat like junk food, dirty food, whatever, then I'll go on this like diet. I shouldn't call it that. I eat Rata 4 certain days just to get my system all chilled out. So today I'm going to eat Rata 4 all the way through the beginning. So this is my second meal. My first meal was banana. Some of you know because I did a Snapchat and I did a banana smoothie, and now I'm going to eat my bananas for my lunch, and my dinner today will be something rice. I don't know, rice and something. So I'll see you later. You know, I said it a long time ago in my video, and I ended up deleting it because I don't know why, because it was showing too much of my house or something like that. But I remember saying it because there were a lot of Freelee haters back then too, and I remember saying it that Freelee is like a kindergarten teacher, you know what I mean? So when you first come into veganism, she's like a kindergarten teacher. She teaches you everything, and she teaches you the basics, and she teaches you what to do, what not to do, basic stuff, you know? But you can't be stuck in kindergarten for the rest of your life. You got to move on to the first grade, elementary school, junior school, you know, high school, maybe college, you know? And within those steps that you take, you're gonna find true you, you know? This Asian vegan channel is true me. This is what I wanted to do at the end. This is what I'm doing, but Freelee gave me the startup. You know, she was a kindergarten teacher. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that, you know, the A, B, C, D, the alphabet she taught me, that's gonna stay with me forever. You know, it doesn't matter if I live the alphabet life, you know, that alphabet is within me. That's how Freelee is with me. So I thank her for letting me know that fruits were good, that carbs are good, that eating vegan is not boring. She taught me all those basics, the basics. And within those basics, I decided to find me, and this is me. Because if I was doing the same thing exactly what she was doing, that's just me mimicking her life. I don't want to mimic her life. I want to be me, you know? There's a lot of you out there that wants to do YouTube as well. I know, because YouTube is fun, you know? And my advice is to find you. Something that you have, only you, and then create a YouTube channel because, it's just water. If you're just mimicking somebody else's ideas and you're just not really creating you won't last long. Even if you create something for yourself, it's still hard. You know, because day to day I struggle about what kind of recipes should I put up, what kind of talk should I do, you know? It's not like we sit here and just like, let's do this, and just comes right up. It does not. People that are behind camera doing YouTube and they have a lot of followings, a lot of you know, subscribers, whatever, they get subscribers because they put a lot of effort into their videos. They don't just sit there and just people come. It doesn't happen like that. You know? It's like having a child. You know, you get pregnant, you for 9 months, 10 months, you have this baby, and then he's born. The baby is born, and you look at him, you're like, oh, you are so much in love with the baby, you raise him to be good, whatever, you just goes on. Let's say he grows up to be a teenager, and then he becomes like a massive murderer. You know, he murders people. I don't know why, but let's say he does, you know? Are you gonna stop loving your child just because he became a murderer? No, you're gonna hate what he does. You might hate what he does. You might hate his actions, you know, for what he's done. And maybe you think that like, this is crazy what you're doing. You know what I mean? But deep inside, you're gonna have that love for your son. The moment you held, the moment you kissed, the moment you saw him, and you're like, oh, this is my baby. You're gonna always treasure that. You know, that's how I feel with Freelee. No matter what she does down the road, she said she'll be on YouTube for she's like till 90. Oh God. That makes me, I'm gonna be like in 100. I guess I won't watch her then, but we might be dead by then. So that's how I feel for Freelee, okay? I'm sorry. I am sure I will like Tana too, because I'm telling you, that girl, 17 years old, to have my attention like that, I was like, wow. I was like, whoa, whoa, you know? Good for her. I learned a lot from her already. I watched just 2 of her videos and I've learned so much about just everything, about YouTube, about life. It's just funny how she just sucked me right in. I was like, wow. You know, for me to be able to learn something like that from a 17-year-old girl, that just says a lot about her. In my opinion, that's the way I think. I learned a lot from Peyton too. She's a baby, you know, but I learned a lot. Sometimes when I look at her, I don't know what she was doing behind me right now. Her pants just keep on falling down. She's actually wearing Kayla, her sister's pants, so she doesn't have underwear on underneath her, so she keeps on like, I don't know, her butt might have been showing. I'm sorry if that happened, you know, just I'll cover it somehow. But look how loving she is. She just comes to me, she loves me. She teaches me about love every single day. She's my greatest teacher when it comes to love. Pepita, do you know that you're my greatest teacher? I love you. You're like perfect, except you smell like chocolate. Why do you smell like chocolate?
Better of chocolate.
You ate chocolate?
Better of chocolate.
Okay, do you love me? Say bye to Tangy. Say bye, Tangy.
Bye.
Say, don't worry, my mommy will give you a recipe tomorrow.
So bye tomorrow.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you.
Look how many banana mommy had. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bananas. Peppy, is banana good for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, banana's really good for you.
I think it's good for you
Yeah.
too. And I don't like blood. Because you see this, it's blood.
Bye.
Bye.
For those of you still asking, so whose side are you on? Are you on banana side or are you on Tana's side? It's like asking me. Your mommy and your dad's going through a divorce. You're asking me, do you love mommy or daddy better? It's like asking me stuff like that. Don't ask me, okay? I'm gonna keep them to myself. I like them both. I love my mom, I love my dad. It doesn't matter who made mistake. I don't care who caused the divorce. I like them both. That's the way I am. That's how I live my life. Unless they're like seriously after to get me and my kids. You know how I feel about that, right? You come after my kids, I go after your whole family. I'll see you later.